Hello and welcome to the Monsterfest guide video. Now in this video you're going to need some better stats. I mean tower damage for the Squire you're going to want it around 1000. Attack rate you're probably going to want it around 700. Just basic stats for doing Nightmare and Hardcore. Again, this one's a little bit easier doing on Hardcore than normal because you do have a set number of lives, and if you just start dying a lot then it will cycle through your lives really quickly, so try to use the lives very carefully if you're not doing Hardcore. If you don't have the basic tower stats that you're going to need, then try it on Insane first. If you can do it really easily on Insane, then go for it on Nightmare. Now grab the chest pretty quickly. You don't have a lot of time in Monsterfest, so set a tower right here at the beginning of the bridge, and you're going to want to set a harpoon tower aiming this way for air, and a harpoon tower aiming that way. Now the first wave is the hardest. You're going to need to be able to kill things and get all the mana that you can and set up your defenses as fast as possible. In between waves it only gives you about anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds. You're going to want to set up as many harpoon towers as you can in the beginning, pointing in each of those directions. You only need 2 for air throughout the entire Monsterfest, so you can always set those up whenever you want to. Just make sure to hoard as many towers as you possibly can. Now as this is getting through, I'm going to tell you that I did this with a Squire, a Monk, and an Eevee. You can probably do it with just a Squire if you've got more tower stats, but I mean it's just a lot easier with the Monk and the Eevee. The Monk is just there for strength drain auras and healing auras. The healing auras only really help if you've got a lot of people in your Monsterfest, but they're not too useful for anything more than that. Now as you can see, the major thing that you want to do is, if you're going to go out at all, you want to make sure you're only going out for mana and when there's not a huge wave of enemies here. Just after it kills the majority of the enemies, you run out, you grab mana, then you run back in. Now when you see that the wave's almost over, you want to get as close to this area as you can because you want to immediately switch over to the next character you need to go to. You can see how fast I'm going to be attempting to do this. Now I switched to the Eevee first. These first 2 wall placements are not exactly where I want them to be, but you'll see where I'll place them later. I just placed them early there just so I can ignore them. This is how you want to place them. You want to place your physical wall in kind of a ramp towards that little fire area, because if you do that in the fire area, then everything that'll go down will fall into the fire area. That way if you're worried about any troll warriors, they'll just fall down and fall into the fire, and you won't have to worry about them anymore. So as you can see, I changed the physical beam to where it's a ramp into that lava, and then the reflect beam doesn't need to be in too many special locations because honestly it's gonna do its job wherever you place it. So I placed the healing aura, the strength drain auras, now this makes it a lot easier to do if you've got a guardian pet, because the guardian pets do help out a lot. But honestly, after you've placed all those, this is just a upgrade and repairing fest. You just go through, keep everything upgraded. The major things to upgrade is your physical beams, because they're usually smaller and they're going to take a lot of damage. You don't even really need to upgrade your towers, but honestly you could go through and just take one wave at it, and it's 100 to upgrade all of those. While you're doing this, you're going to need to be very careful because there is little patches of this bridge that are open that you can fall into lava, and you don't really want to do that, so make sure to jump around, but be very careful when you're around the lava. So this is the Monsterfest guide. It's pretty easy. You don't need to worry about picking up any items. They will sell when you go back to the tavern, and it does get you a pretty good item. I'm going to show you what the item is right here. It's a monk weapon, and it's very good for DPS if you want to do more physical, but it is also good for range. It does have multiple shots. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.